Guys, in this section, I want to go into the topic of ad extensions and get familiar with what they are and what they are not. Later, we will gather information about their details and learn how and where to use them, how to analyze their data, and so on. Once you've set up your campaign, I want you to get familiar with ad extensions. It's like hair extensions, right? Something is being added to the hair. Ad extensions are exactly the same, meaning something is being added to your ads. A very important point that I mentioned at the beginning, but will say again, make sure, absolutely make sure, not to forget that ad extensions might not be displayed. What does it depend on? I'll talk about its parameters later, but just know that your ad extension might not always be displayed. This is something that when you look for information about it, we would discuss. All right, guys, let's get to know the types and names first. One type of extension we have is the sitelink, which is one model. There's a type called callout. Another type is structured snippet. There's an image extension and a call extension. Guys, you can see from the words in their names that it makes it clear for us that each of these has a specific use, like forks, spoons, etc. Another one is the lead form extension. There's a location extension. Another is the affiliate location extension. Then there's price, app, and promotion extensions. Well, we usually just refer to it as affiliate for this topic. But in general, to get familiar with them, let's go and look at each other on the dashboard. Guys, in the ad extension section, when you click on the extension, you'll see the extensions you've defined there. Okay, when I click on the plus, you'll see exactly what you saw over there. Sitelink, callout. When you hover over them, you'll see some explanations. It says show links to specific pages of your website regarding the sitelink extension, and for the callout extension, it says show descriptive text. Another point to consider here, please, is that there are two main types of ad extensions. Clickable ones like sitelink, call extension, form, price, app extension, promotion extension, and non-clickable ones. What does non-clickable mean? It means, for example, text. Remember when we looked at the ad preview together? When I highlighted some of them, they became a bit faded, and their boldness and blackness diminished. Those were exactly the extensions I mentioned. In desktop or mobile mode, this is clickable. These are exactly the same. We had two main models. Sitelink extensions, sitelink. So we had two main models, clickable and non-clickable. Now, under each of these, for example, we have sitelinks. And for non-clickable, we have callouts, structured snippets, and so on. What are these and what do they look like? I will now give you a general explanation of what they are. Sitelinks are there to shorten the user's journey for you. The name itself suggests it. It actually takes a link. Guys, sitelinks are displayed like this on mobile or desktop. Okay, kids, you might see its description. You might not see its description and only see your citing text. This is also the number you see. Kids, this number. For example, it had a headline for these stories and a description. This also specifies exactly with a limitation, a site, this text, and then description line 1, description line 2, and finally the URL it wants to take. Let me give you a simple example, kids. When, for instance, I say, suppose your ad group is about selling Samsung phones. Well, or for example, regarding your ad group is about Samsung phones Suppose, for instance, I don't know which model has come out now, maybe the S20. Well, the S20 Ultra, for example. Guys, to shorten the user's journey for you, make sure to accurately consider what the user is searching for. Ultimately, we bring this to a page related to the S20. Well, what things might we actually provide to shorten the user's journey? For example, its configurations, if you pay attention, if it has a specific page, well, for instance, I put its various configurations with a menu setting to shorten the user's journey. Or for example, let's say, imagine guys, I'm supposed to advertise, for instance, an ad group for a digital marketing course. Just imagine, suppose I'm doing it right now, okay? My user became an ad group for the digital marketing course. Okay, my general keyword, guys, the one that is an ad group. For example, I'm talking about the Google Ads course. I separated it. And I don't care about the landing page shame until here. Now let's move on to the landing pages for my general digital marketing course, which I assumed I wanted to have a page. I send the final URL of all the ads in that ad group to the digital marketing course page. I also had another ad group that I send directly to the Google Ads course page. Guys, after someone clicks on the digital marketing course, what might their next behavior be? They might want to choose something specific, right? There, I can also give them site links to the Google Ads course, the Google Analytics course, etc. The course of crisis management and interest. So why not take it to the end of the funnel? Let me give you another example. Suppose someone has searched for Bosch repair services. Guys, probably in the next level, they need to specify their request, whether they want to repair a washing machine or they don't know, repair something else, right? Suppose this is the case now. Guys, should I come here and link the site to, for example, Samsung dealership, LG dealership, and introduce various dealerships for them? Or should I shorten the customer journey? Or should I say what? Should I say, sir, Bosch washing machine repairs, Bosch dishwasher repairs, Bosch oven repairs, Bosch refrigerator repairs, and so on. Guys, when my user is doing a general search and entering my website, it's not clear what exactly they want at that moment. I can create specific links on the site for them to shorten the user's path. So guys, site links are not for offering something else if the user doesn't want it. No, guys, it's to shorten the user's path, not to offer them something else. At that moment, they are saying, sir, I want to, for example, repair a Bosch appliance, but I don't know what it is. For instance, imagine an ad group for Bosch washing machines. Well, let's assume I understood that. My user's behavior is looking for washing machine repair. Guys, if I have the models for the search queries, I will put site links there. So guys, I'm giving you a hint here. I'm telling you, what can I understand from this data? Remember, the search term is coming in, right? I said, or conversely, I go into analytics and look at the user flow. I check where the user goes after coming here. For example, assume my user searched for Malaysia tour. When they land on the Malaysia tour page, guys, they exit from that user flow. And I can see what the user flow on my website was. Where do I see this? In analytics, for instance, because the subsequent search behavior is not shown together. Just assume, okay. Someone who lands on my Malaysia tour page, I say, what happened in the user flow? I see it in analytics. Did they go to the travel insurance page? 30% of them. I noticed that a portion of the users also went to buy water park tickets. Well, some also went to learn about this work and where it takes them. Just imagine, okay. The person is giving me a hint that I shouldn't put alu chair until they come from the supermarket and place it at the checkout. If they reach there, they can quickly make a choice. Now imagine this. What am I doing here? I come and define a site link for hotels in Malaysia. Or for example, define a site link for a travel guide in Malaysia. Why? Because I have studied my users' behavior after they have entered my website. Or every day. Well, what do I do next? I also place a site link for travel insurance. If the person searches for this, and at that moment their friend is interested in travel insurance, they click on it, and I've got them right there. Instead of going through 2 or 3 steps, I make their path easier. So when they see it here, instead of clicking on the headline, they click on my ad. They come and click on my site link. They come and click on that point. For example, if someone searches for a tour to Malaysia, I can offer them a tour to Kish. Guys, see? We changed the path. Instead of continuing with this, we sat on a different path. So I learned that to solve this, I need to have a perspective on the journey, yeah? And what the site link is, so I can emphasize it. It might not always be displayed. What is the caller? Guys, the call out is for you to find an additional opportunity so you can continue. It says, descriptive text. You see, this is the description. Right now, you don't understand it just like that. Well, you don't give it a base like this, then it shows it. You see, the descriptive text. Well, you specify it for it, and you have the opportunity. It gives you a video so you can talk to your user about other values. Got it? Talk about other values, for example. I have parking, I guarantee your work, for instance. Assume I give you a phone consultation, and so on. Right? I see this. I put it in the call out. Well, so I will also come here to talk about other values. In parentheses, guys, if your core values or main values are not in your call, you can think about why that is. Because the extension might not display. So what happens to that clickable element in the cloud, Nushin? Practically you've lost the clickable element at this point, right? So we've learned this together in our session, correct? Now, structured snippets, guys, structured snippets are also not clickable. You might review these again in the later sections. This structured snippet is not clickable at all, you see. It comes right after the description, right? Do you see what happens? But the point is, it has a header. Where I need to select the language, guys, in Persian, since we don't have the Persian language here, what do? We select English, guys. Your header is selected by default. Among what options do you see the amenities? I click on them. The amenities, for example, I can write in Persian here, yes, see. Do you see? It's a headline, actually a headline, and if it puts an English header, because our user is Iranian, they can navigate more easily. It puts an English header here, right. On the other hand, I have to choose this. For the 3 pieces of music I want, we see it takes at least 3 values from me. By values, it means you should write what it is. See, it gives its own example. You must write at least 3, for instance. Hoping it has Wi-Fi amenities, a pool, a fitness center, a kitchen, I don't know, a brand, for example. Next, for example, Chromebooks, and so on. Well, different courses, because it depends on what you want to choose. For instance, since I am selling courses, and also providing services in the field of digital marketing, I offer courses. For example, I say what it is. I say, Sir WordPress Plus. Well, I say what, for instance, I don't know, search ads. Plus, well, for example, suppose I offer a free webinar, like designing a landing page right. Sometimes these things get mixed up and you have to use tricks like this. It says, for example, you see there's a course, colon, then why do I save it? We go over it again, actually writing another instruction name. But here I select the service catalog. You see type, style, shows, for example. Suppose you have a cinema. Well, here we select shows. So for example, service. Now I have a few services. I put the service catalog. I write account recharge. Google Ads, management, for example. Google Ads, account. Well, let's say we select website trial, for example. Let's say we select SEO, work that I'm doing. For example, let's say we select content, production. Let's say we write video, content production. Well, and finally, guys, you see this continues with a description. How do I know this isn't a call out? Because guys, here it has a header. This is your exam question. Where is the difference? Why should you add the call out yourself in the structure? You see, first of all, pay attention, guys. When does this happen? When I have an extract snippet, I'm using it. Note, guys, extensions are defined at 3 levels: account, campaign, and ad group. Extensions are defined at 3 levels: account, campaign, and ad group. But a much more important point is that lower level extensions have priority and are indeed important. What does that mean? This means if you define an extension at the ad group level, for example, there are 3 types. Guys, pay attention, there are 3 types. Suppose I defined a site link at the ad group level, and then I also define a site link at the account level. When the ad is being selected from here, it says, look, do you have a site link at the ad group level? It says, yes, I do. Even if it has just 1 and the other has 20, thus, for example, well, it says, look, give me the site link so I can go. If you're supposed to take a look, sir, assume there's no call out. The call out is defined at the campaign level. It says you have a call out in the ad group, you say you don't. It says you have a call out in the campaign, you say yes, I have 2. It takes both and goes. So guys, ad extensions are at the level of them at the level. Lower priority as well. And the next point is that ad extensions are defined at 3 levels: account, campaign, and ad group. These are the 2 topics you should know about ad extensions. The third is that they are not always supposed to be displayed. Okay, the next extension is the image extension. Guys, look, you see this image. It also has a series of policies. Make it easy for yourself, but now is not the place for it, okay? Guys, it has a series of policies. You see, it says, sir, I added the image extension for you. You select it, choose its level. For example, you see, the image extension is a certain percentage at the campaign level, a certain percentage at the ad group level. Shall we write this down too? Okay. Then it says, sir, I want to add a new one. Or it says, use existing. What does use existing mean? It means, sir, the one I had before, I want to add it here too. So, don't do redundant work, and in the end, you save it. What else do I have? I have a call extension. Guys, the call extension is very important. In Iran, the call extension cannot be directly tested from here. Later, we'll teach you how to perform this task here using a script. The next model is the lead form extension. Guys, it generates leads for you. Exactly generates leads, you see. It says, sir, well, it's time to show this form similar to the search ad class. You see, it says, write your first name, write your surname, write your email, write your phone number, okay? I used exist, or it says create new. Guys, all of these have a structure. It says, give me the headline, give me your business name, give me your description. For example, specify your contact information, specify your work information, like job title, etc., and so on. You see. So guys, the lead form extension is for leading the user. Pay attention, I mentioned 2 very important things here. The site link is to ease the user's journey away. Where did it go when they clicked? It went inside the site, actually. Oh, the call and lead form were clickable. When the user clicked, where did they go? It didn't go here. It didn't go inside the website. Remember once I explained the session click discrepancy to you? I mentioned it once. I said one of the other reasons you might encounter a session click discrepancy is that, for example, the user clicked the call button and didn't go to the website. A session is recorded when they go to the website, meaning your analytics can record it. So when the user clicks the call button or submits a form, you practically don't have any data on the analytics side. Be careful, guys. Why is Google charging for 3 clicks? Is it clear? Well, the location extension is because it shows your business information like address, opening hours, etc. on the map. Guys, it shows the address, okay? We don't just deal with the address. It also displays the price. Guys, in Iran, naturally, because you have to choose a currency, see if you're not running in Iran. Choose a currency to make it easier for you, okay? And finally, app extension, guys, make sure to do it exactly. The app extension is different from the UAC type model I talked about. For the app extension, you also need to first choose the type. If you haven't set it on both, you need to add 2 extensions. Okay, suppose I want to add my extension for Radio Javan. You see, for example, here Radio Javan is the same. You see, they have to choose, right? I added an extension, a call to action link. Do you see it? Guys, pay attention. This is different from the UAC model. This is an extension that is attached to your ad and might display below your ad. Why did I add it? Right now, I added it for Android. Now you see, I can't download it. I see it in Farsi, download the application. For example, imagine I don't have Dazagal here right now, for instance. Okay, when I place this, it directly takes you to the App Store or Google Play to a package that I selected, and it downloads it. You see, guys, its level is at the account, campaign, ad group level. The important point is that if you are at the level of, in fact, if we want to target iOS as well, we need to add another one. If we want to target both, it costs money, guys. You pay per click, no matter how precise you are. Guys, what are extensions for now? What is the purpose of extensions? One of the parameters and another factor helps you to improve your CTR. Pay more attention. The more space you allocate to yourself, whether on desktop or mobile, and the more opportunities you create for yourself to provide more explanation about your work, what are you effectively doing? You are occupying more space, and your competitor is less likely to be seen. Well, you increase your chances, you are expanding your network. And for example, if you have a link on the site, you allow it to be repeated more easily so that the user can reach their goal, or for instance, in an image. It provides a better experience for the user. They understand it better. Or for example, I'm saying in the script strategy, they understand exactly what I'm teaching, my course, and what courses I have. It establishes a better connection with my user, right? And it can more easily reach their insight. So the more we become visible to our user, the higher the chance of our click as we occupy more space on the page, reducing the chance of our competitor being seen. Remember, they said to maximize your potential, fill it up and write. That's why not just one headline. For example, write 2 headlines, fill it up. Not just writing a couple of words to fill it up. Why? Because you allocate more space to yourself, increasing the likelihood of your click. For example, I use different extensions. Guys, is it possible for them to be displayed simultaneously? Is it possible for the extensions to be displayed simultaneously? Yes, it is possible. They might even not be displayed at all simultaneously. Did it become clear? Okay. So the app extension comes, the promotion extension comes, it specifies your discount. You can either give a percentage or specify an amount. You see, it says, sir, I'm saying an amount or a percentage, like saying 10% off. For example, you see 10% off, and so on. Guys, this is also a template. Yes, it gives you a page where you can provide the URL of the page where you are actually applying the discount. Did you get what happened? Okay, so the extensions have become 2 types, clickable and non-clickable. Among these, we had different models. Sitelink, callout, call extension, structured snippet, app extension, price extension, promotion extension, lead form extension, and location extension. Guys, these can be clickable or not, actually among these. Guys, it helps in enhancing the beauty of your extension model, and so on. Let me tell you something right here. Chase, Google tends to favor those who use a variety of extensions. It's like they've hit the jackpot. Later, we'll have a session specifically on this topic that we'll refer back to. Well, I've learned that extensions help me to be able to say more. I have more opportunities to speak. It increases the likelihood of engaging the user in front of me. With different types, make sure to use them correctly, guys. Here's a point I want to mention. Callout or structure snippet is not for writing numbers. The place for writing numbers is the call extension. Why? Because when I write in the ad, the user clicks and calls immediately. Otherwise, they have to copy it, and then you think that writing in the ad doesn't get clicked, or it gets clicked to touch the product. So each of these has its own specific use. Forks, spoons, and so on, each will be used for a specific purpose. I talked a little about ad extensions with you.